what you guys will be doing today is removing the weeds, which is basically grass, sod, any kind of trash or competition that's around the tree. And then you guys will be fixing the berms and then watering the tree. But yeah, so we'll show you the way. This tree did not look like this when I got here. It looked like that one over there. And if you guys can see, there's like grass that has grown all over it. So that's what we want to like get rid of today. The point is that grass is a competition for these trees. They are babies. They need as much like support and freedom to like be able to grow themselves without having to deal with anything else. So yeah, so we have a bunch of tools today. The tools that Santos has using. But we have a bunch of different tools that you will be using to remove these weeds. And Santos, if you want to show like how to wax, kind of like removing the weeds.
Yeah. So step one, I'm gonna wear my gloves. And then I'm gonna grab our tool that we call the Homatic. And I personally like to use like this straight part, but I think the thick part could work too. And so using the back, I'm gonna use some force to kind of dig it out. But I'm gonna make sure to not go like so deep in and hard that I might like get too deep and like pull out a root. That could really hurt the tree and stress it out. So I'm gonna try to remain as like surface as I can and go deeper and deeper with time. Being slow and paying attention to seeing if any roots are in there. I also can use my hands to just pull them out. It's really, really important to be careful with the root system of the tree. We don't want to accidentally harm the tree or damage it. Since this tool is like pointy too, I'm also going to be careful not to like go too hard. I could accidentally whack it, kind of dig into this tree.
Or whack yourself, because I've had people do that before.
Don't hurt your friends, guys.
Yeah.
But the whole point of this is that we're gonna recreate a berm, and I don't know if any like previous people remember what a berm is and could tell one of us. So if anybody want to volunteer and tell us what a berm is,
It's just
I'm gonna put you
basically
on the spot.
a wall around the outside of the tree so that when you're pouring in the water, it stays right there with the tree roots and soaks down.
Yeah, exactly. So it's essentially like a pool. The whole point is that we're gonna put 15 gallons of water into each of these trees. That's about 3 buckets. So that's a lot of water. So we're gonna recreate the berm by making it as big as possible. The bigger the berm, the better. If you could fit like at least 2 buckets in it, just without even having to wait, that's like essentially the goal. So as you can see, like Santos is kind of like making the shape right now. Basically, once you like kind of free up that dirt and all that like that grass, you're gonna want to build these high walls that will like keep the water in place. This is where your sandcastle skills like come into play too. You know, like don't be afraid.
When was the last time these were planted?
I think these were planted during this planting season.
Yeah, so these might have been like September. Like all down the street, we did them in the early month of planting season, so September, October.
Okay, and this material here is mulch, right?
Yes.
What happened to the mulch that was put in the berm previously?
I mean, it just like kind of goes away like over time. We kind of have like natural elements, like maybe rain, you know, wind. We also have residents that probably walk through here that just kind of gets dusted everywhere.
Okay.
I think over the months it just kind of, it also like decays, right? Like it kind of goes in with the
Okay.
ground, so.
Cool.
Yeah, so basically the FBI comes and turns into something. The FBI meaning the fungus, the bacteria, the insects, they come to eat it up. So this is why we tell you guys even during planting season that mulch is very, very important. Only because it's like natural fertilizer for the tree itself. For the same reason that we say do not put any other type of fertilizer because you just use the soil and the textures of it. So it's kind of we just want the tree to be for it to get used to its own environment around me. Meanwhile, it's surviving its first years. That's why this mulch is very, very important, especially when it comes to like the natural stuff of the trees, like the leaves, the branches, and anything natural from the tree itself, except for like grass or anything.
Yeah, and so as you guys can see, Santos has already like finished it and then recreated the berm. After the berm, it's just basically watering. I mean, this is like a really quick process, but yeah. So watering a tree, like I said, it's 15 gallons, which is 3 buckets. And the way we water our trees is we don't just like dump the water in the berm. We don't do that because we want to avoid causing like an erosion. We don't want to expose roots by dumping the water. Exposed roots can mean that they get a lot of sun. We're feeling the extreme heat right now. A lot of sun on those roots could dry them out. So we want to avoid that. So we have like 2 methods of watering. One of it is like you use your hand.
It's a perfect day to do this. The water feels so cool.
Yeah.
So make sure you don't wear your gloves when you do this, and your gloves will get like the wet sock effect. Doesn't really feel good. Another way you can do it is you can use your tool and just make sure the water hits your tool, and that also breaks the water, making it like a more gentle like stream that won't cause the erosion that Monica was talking about.
And you want to be mindful that like sometimes you might not be able to make such a big berm because of your dirt or whatever. So you want to keep an eye on the berm. Like I can see over there that it was starting to like maybe come out already. So you want to stop. It's okay if you can't put even a bucket in there. Over time we could just move on to like a different tree and we can come back and continue to water it. Yeah, you can also like wave, but not time efficient. But yeah, let's say that was like 2 buckets of water for now. After your second bucket of water, you want to add mulch. Does anybody know what mulch is? You guys want to guess what mulch is?
Can you show that?
Well, yeah, just explain it to us. But yeah, mulch is basically like the trash of trees, kind of tree litter. It's wood chips, basically. A lot of this is just recycled tree. As Miguel said, the point is that, you know, it eventually like breaks down, becomes part of the soil. It's like nutrient efficient, and it helps avoid grass growing back. It blocks out sunlight, and so it disturbs grass. And yeah, that's like one of the many benefits. It also retains water. So as you're pouring your bucket in, this is gonna hold water and keep it like from evaporating too quick. So yeah, when you put like mulch, you kind of just want to put it on the like outside of it. You don't want to pile it on in the middle of the trunk of the tree because, like I said, it retains water. And if you pile it all in the middle of the trunk, it could cause trunk rot. So we want to avoid that. Just give me it like this.
Then also be sure to be able to like gauge it as well too, because some of the trees that we have planted before still have some mulch on it.
Yeah.
So just be able to like see how much, what do you need of that 1 bucket. Sometimes you don't even need.
Yeah, exactly. All these trees have been planted like and look very different from each other. You guys might also encounter some trees that residents have decided to put like plants around, or little like decorations and whatnot. If you guys encounter those, just let us know. We'll personally take care of those, just to make sure that we don't disturb any residents like art. But yeah, and then after, let's say you did your 2 buckets and then you did your mulch, your last step is to put your 3rd bucket. Same method, you just want to make sure you kind of like trinkle it in there. But yeah, besides that, it's just really weeding, building your berm, and watering your trees. Right? I think that's basically it. And we have like a lot of different tools. You guys could use your hands, as Santo said. You could get creative. Just don't hurt our trees.
How often do you do this uptick after they're planted?
How long did we wait?
So you planted it in September, then you come back 8 months later to do it, roughly? Is that what?
So once we plant them, during the winter time, that's kind of like when our season is like gearing to it. They don't need as much maintenance because it's cold. What's really important for the trees is water. So maybe we'll come like once a month and do like a deep watering, and then come back another month. We check in on it. We do like mulching and like the pruning, but it's really during the summertime months, which is like May till September again. We come in like weekly, bi-weekly, and we're doing like intensive watering and tree care.
Okay.
Also, they're just like a team of like 7 people. So 7 people to like take care of 1,000, over 1,000, 2,000 trees. So it takes a while.
No kidding. Yeah, it's a huge amount of work.
I think we have 700 trees, right, planted in this city. So you guys are more than welcome to come to more of our tree care events. But yeah, we're essentially done. If anybody has any questions, it's pretty simple. But we're gonna be around also. So if you have any questions, you could like just ask us. But you guys are free to go. We just need to give you some tools, and the trees are all along the street, so you can just pick a tree and go for it.
Is it both sides of the street?
Yes.
Yeah.
You guys still want these tools?
Yeah. And so we're gonna have some tools right now.